Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News starts right now.
Tonight, we're learning how a woman who took to Twitter to call out COVID misinformation at school board meetings will not be charged with cyberstalking.
However, the Livingston County Sheriff did investigate and was recommending charges. Jason Colthorpe live tonight with that story. Jason.
Yeah, good evening, guys. We should start by pointing out there are 3 women involved here. The woman who took to Twitter and the 2 women she singled out. One is a nurse, the other is a professor of nursing. Now, when all of this happened, remember, during these mandates and these meetings, everyone who was at odds was most often at odds politically on the opposite ends of the political spectrum. And that happens to be exactly the case here as well.
We know what we're talking about in healthcare. I know what I'm talking about in healthcare.
The vitriol on display at a few Brighton school board meetings last year spilled onto Twitter. Specifically, Casey Helton, there to observe, took offense to 2 nurses declaring the ineffectiveness of masks, claims with which most doctors and nurses disagree.
They were both presenting themselves as nurses and when they were giving their presentation. That to me is what was over the line. So that is why they did not have to do that. They could have said, speaking as parents, and if they would have said that, I probably wouldn't have done anything.
She also saw to tag the employers of the 2 women, which prompted a complaint and a call from a Livingston County Sheriff's deputy.
And then he informed me that I was going to be recommended for charges on this cyberstalking statute. And I thought at that point, my thought was that I was trying to be silenced.
I felt that when you start going after someone's livelihood, that is crossing the line, said Sheriff Mike Murphy in a statement. I had no idea who the focus of this investigation was until Casey Helton turned to social media. So to say this is politically motivated could not be further from the truth.
Sheriff Murphy said that he wanted to use my case as a test of some kind to see how he could further prosecute First Amendment issues. And I'm not a lab rat for First Amendment issues in the Sheriff's Department. I'm a human being.
Now, she says she found out from a friend, Helton did, who talked to the prosecutor that there were no charges coming. Obviously, I had some questions about the timeline of all of this, why no charges, what the prosecutor thought about this case being presented to their office. I put in 2 calls, left 2 messages with them today, got no call back. Also, I should point out the sheriff didn't want to add anything more to his statement that he had released. Back to you.
So that's where we are tonight. All right, Jason.
Well, today's blanket of snow didn't last long on paved surfaces, but we've got colder air coming this weekend, too.
Let's turn things over to Paul with our first look at the weather. Paul?
Yeah, colder air coming in. How about right now? I mean, literally right now. Here we'll start with Storm Tracker 4, and as expected, a narrow band of robust snow showers is progressing across the area here. So it may come down briefly, pretty good, but it's going to be out of here before you even know it. And the front has just made it through Lansing because look at the temperatures. We've been largely in the mid-20s to around 30 degrees here ahead of the front. Lansing just dropped into the low 20s here. So I think the front has just come through Lansing, and it's going to march very quickly eastward across the area, and that's going to open the floodgates for the Arctic air to come in. So let's talk about it. Here's that band of snow, and the front just now made it through Lansing. I plotted that about a half an hour ago, and so you can see that as the front goes through, the snow goes with it, and we're going to have maybe partial sunshine to start the day tomorrow. But then we're going to quickly cloud up. So it's going to be more clouds than sun for our Saturday. And you factor in very breezy conditions. We're going to have a northwest wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Temps only in the 20s. We're talking about wind chills in the single digits, and we'll talk about that again in a second. But then Sunday morning, we have now some warm air coming in. There's the front edge of it right there. It's right there. That's the warm front. And so we're going to have a band of snow that comes in ahead of it. But again, a quick hitting band of snow. That's going to be pretty much out of here by noontime. That's good news. We have the parade on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day parade. And once that front goes through, that opens the floodgates for milder air to come in. So you're talking about weather whiplash this weekend. We're going to have that quick Arctic blast, and just like that, we're going to turn it right around. So let's talk about snow amounts for Sunday. We're looking at generally between 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Now, I have seen a couple of models that suggest maybe 1 inch to 1.25 inches, somewhere in that, but what's a 1/2 inch among friends? We're basically talking about not a huge snowstorm. We're talking about first thing Sunday morning. So we'll be fine. We'll be able to handle it. Listen, I'm going to go out for my bagels and lox regardless on Sunday. I'm not going to let that snow bother me. I do that every Sunday morning, you know. All right, 15 degrees the overnight low tonight, and that wind will be picking up toward morning as that front goes through. We start getting into that Arctic air. Look at this, only a high of 25 tomorrow with single-digit wind chills. And now let's talk about that 7-day forecast. So from 25 on Saturday, back to at least near normal, 43 on Sunday afternoon, so that's good, 53 Monday, 50 on Tuesday. That's the coolest day of the coming week. And then look at this, near 60 on Wednesday, into the 60s on Thursday. But now, as you would expect, with things warming up, we start increasing our rain chances toward the end of the week. Not a massive storm, but still rain chances coming in. So mild week ahead, but we have to get through an Arctic blast for our Saturday first, guys.
Hey, Paul, thank you. The war in Ukraine now in its 16th day. Tonight, Russian forces are expanding their attacks on new cities. Russia is targeting more urban areas, including the eastern city of Dnipro, which is a major industrial hub and Ukraine's fourth largest city. U.S. officials believe Russian troops could encircle Kyiv within 2 weeks. Today, Russian President Vladimir Putin met with the leader of Belarus. Putin claims there are positive developments in peace talks, but not enough to stop the war. President Biden also announcing the U.S. and its allies will revoke normal trade relations with Russia, but the move needs congressional approval.
Revoking PNTR for Russia is going to make it harder for Russia to do business with the United States, and doing it in unison with other nations that make up half of the global economy will be another crushing blow to the Russian economy. It's already suffering very badly from our sanctions.
The UN says more than 2 million people have fled the war-torn country, and that figure is expected to climb. For thousands of Detroiters, there is a once-in-a-generation opportunity in the city right now. $100 million in federal funds that can be truly transformational for adults, whether it's helping someone learn to read or start a business.
Mara McDonald live downtown tonight. Mara, this money is not going to be here forever, though.
No, it's not, Devin, which is why if you're an adult and you're a Detroiter and you have dreamed of a better life for yourself and your family, the time is now.
31. I told him I just wanted, all I needed was an opportunity. That's it, and I could take it from there.
Taishim at his heart is a craftsman.
Seeing something that wasn't beautiful become beautiful, and I'm the responsible party for making it beautiful.
Whose own life mimics in many ways all those home makeover shows he loves to watch.
Are we gonna cut this? Yeah, I love AGT. I love it. Oh my God, yes. This old house and all, absolutely.
The first call is the hardest because you've got to work up the courage to make that call or to take that first step.
Taishim made that call to Detroit at work and is one of the first to go through and earn to learn. In his case, advanced certifications to set him up on his way to be a carpenter. This $100 million scholarship fund is available to adult Detroiters through the American Rescue Plan. Earn money while learning to read or get your GED or get those advanced certifications. But it's more than that.
Or whether you are ready to think about your own small business and you want to explore what that means through the Detroit at Work Entrepreneurship Training Academy, or whether you're ready to get moving and Motor City Match.
The money is here. The opportunity is here.
This is a program that, you make the investment in yourself. We make the investment in you too. And together we can change the whole trajectory of a family, of a community.
Back here live, so many adults get to a point in their life where they say coulda, woulda, and shoulda. And this is a program and money that can really change the script on all that coulda, woulda, shoulda. If you want more information on Detroit at Work, all you've got to do is get on over to clickondetroit.com. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Local 4.
I love the way Nicole put it there, Mara. It really it transforms not only a person's life, but maybe an entire family.
Yeah, it can build generational wealth and absolutely flip a script for a family. And that's what is on the line here, which is not easy, Devin. She's not kidding when she says it's hard to make that first call, especially if this is a remedial education thing. If you're not reading at a 6th grade level, it is hard to be the adult to make that call. But there is so much available here that can really make a difference. Back to you.
And as we said, it won't last forever, so folks need to take the advantage of it while they can. All right, Mara. Investigators are looking for answers tonight after the death of an officer with Detroit Public Schools, the community district. Home security video shows the big fight that broke out on Detroit's west side, not too far from Henry Ford High School. Officer Frederick Wilson responded to that, was seriously injured, and later died. Cause of death still unknown, exact cause anyway. The school district says there is no evidence that a weapon was involved. Wilson, though, was with the school district for 20 years. A man is in custody tonight for the death of a 4-year-old boy in Wixom.
It all started last Saturday when 30-year-old D'Angelo Hawkins called police to Beechwood Street to help his girlfriend's son, who was reportedly unconscious and had trouble breathing. Responders found J.C. DuPont had life-threatening injuries to his skull. He was taken to the hospital and died yesterday. Police say Hawkins was the only one home with the child Saturday. Neighbors say they were shocked by the tragedy.
That's disgusting. Like, who would want to do that to a kid, though? People are so angry out here. You don't take your anger out on innocent kids.
Hawkins was charged with child abuse and is being held on $1 million bond. Prosecutors say they will now consider new charges in the case. Tonight, Farmington Hills police need your help catching a thief who broke into an apartment.
This happened on Thursday morning at the Independence Green apartment complex off Halstead Road in Grand River. Police say the thief stole the victim's laptops, several credit cards, then used one of those credit cards at a Detroit business. Police believe the man involved is in his early 20s, last seen taking off in a dark gray Mazda. So if you've got any information that might help, you're asked to contact Farmington Hills Police.
Now to a Local 4 News update. 2 Lapeer County Sheriff's deputies are recovering tonight after a shootout in Brown City. It happened Wednesday when the deputies tried to serve a felony warrant for criminal sexual conduct. Investigators say the suspect fired shots at the deputies, hitting one of them. The other deputy returned fire, killing 47-year-old Robert Raymond. The deputy who was shot was treated and released from the hospital, and the other deputy was treated for a non-life-threatening injury.
Investigators are convinced the fire at Mudgie's Deli and Wine Bar in Corktown was intentionally set. Fire crews were called to the restaurant twice yesterday, first at 4 a.m., then again at 9. Big questions still remain. Who did it and why? Megan Woods shares the latest on the investigation.
Fire investigators are still trying to figure out who would have wanted to see this Corktown staple up in flames. Behind me, you can see crews cleaning up the damage inside. And the good news here is, regardless who is responsible, the fire didn't keep this restaurant down for long.
They've been through enough in the last year.
The community has watched Mudgie's Deli and Wine Bar face challenge after challenge. First, it was the pandemic, which hasn't been easy on any small business. Then, in September, owner Greg Mudge passed away.
That was, a really hard blow on the community. And so, the community kind of rallied around them.
Now Mudgie's is dealing with the aftermath of a fire that started outside of its wine shop early Thursday morning. Customers had their doubts.
Taqueria El Rey had a fire. They're closed. So we were thinking, oh, here's another place.
The businesses are just 2.5 miles apart, but Detroit Fire Department says Taqueria El Rey's fire was an accident. Mudgie's was intentional. It's an upsetting detail for people who eat here often.
It's just sad that anybody would want to try to do something like that intentionally.
After closing for a day, the deli was back open today.
As soon as I saw on Instagram that they were open, I'm like, I got to go get some Mudgie's.
It was only for carryout, but to these customers, reopening this soon brought hope.
It's wonderful that they're still around.
And an opportunity to show their appreciation.
I just come to Mudgie's because I love the people and the food and the employees that work here and everything like that. So I'll support them in whatever scenario it's going to be.
The current owner didn't want to go on camera, but she did say their prep kitchen is destroyed from this fire, so they're working around that. Tomorrow and throughout the weekend, they'll be open, dine in, and carry out just in time for 313 Day. In Detroit, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Okay, Megan. Now to the latest numbers on the coronavirus here in Michigan.
State reporting 1,819 new cases over the past 2 days. So the daily average still under the 1,000 cases a day mark at 910. We've lost another 45 lives to the virus. Also, the 7-day positivity rate still under 4%, and that's the lowest it's been since July of last summer. And because of numbers like that, the state is tweaking its quarantine guidelines. State says if you test positive, it's no longer necessary to quarantine for 10 days. New guidance suggests you isolate for 5 days. Then, if symptoms improve, you can leave home if you wear a well-fitting face mask for another 5 days.
Tonight, we're learning more about how the White House's Test to Treat initiative will work. The program is intended to allow higher-risk Americans to have rapid and easy access to potentially life-saving COVID treatments, something that will make it possible for more people to safely re-enter society as COVID precautions are dropped. Here's what we know so far.
The idea is simple. If you test positive for COVID-19, you can immediately get free antiviral medication to help treat it. But it's been a major missing link in the U.S. COVID response.
These treatments work to prevent the worst outcomes of COVID-19.
The 2 COVID pills available in the U.S. are most effective when taken as soon as possible after symptoms start, and getting them quickly has proven challenging. A new Test to Treat program will allow people to go to one place to be tested and, if positive, get the antiviral pills on the spot.
Hundreds of one-stop sites will open across the country this month, located at local pharmacy clinics, community health centers, long-term care facilities, and veterans health centers.
Participating pharmacies have begun placing their orders for the medications. CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart have confirmed some of their locations will take part in the program. Participating locations must have qualified on-site healthcare providers to write the prescription, so that will limit pharmacies that can participate. You won't have to get tested at the location either. Patients can also bring at-home results to the site. A federal Test to Treat website is expected to launch mid-March to help patients find the location closest to them.
That's right, mid-March. So the first Test to Treat sites could open as early as next week. One major question remains, though. Which conditions would qualify someone to receive these antiviral pills? They're intended for those at high risk from COVID complications, but it's not yet clear how that determination will be made.
Subtitle as it has been from the beginning, and stay tuned. The battle over a proposed water rate hike in Wayne County this summer is getting heated. At a meeting today, leaders of cities across the region blasted this proposal because the Great Lakes Water Authority says the rate hike is partially due to the city of Highland Park, that single issue, not paying its water bills over the last 10 years.
We need to pay our workers, right, to give you the water that you get. We need to pay our suppliers. We have expenses that are real expenses, and we are not for profit, right? We are a governmental entity. So we need the money to be able to run the system. There are 9,000 people in the city of Highland Park. Individual people. Most of those households are paying their water bills to the city, right? So we're not going to create a public health crisis over 2 governmental entities having a charge dispute.
Today, the Conference of Western Wayne voted to not pay the debt allocation for the city of Highland Park. 3.7% rate hike is set to take effect, though, July 1st. Auto insurance refunds are on the way.
Today, Governor Whitmer confirms the transfer of $3 billion back to Michigan drivers has started. The money comes from a surplus at the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. Eligible Michigan drivers will receive $400 per vehicle. Anybody with a car, motorcycle, or RV that was insured on October 31st, 2021 is considered eligible. Auto insurance companies must send out refund checks or deposits as soon as possible and no later than May 9th.
One of the largest St. Patrick's Day parades in the country is making its comeback to Corktown this weekend. The Detroit St. Patrick's Day parade will take place on Michigan Avenue, where it belongs, on Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Organizers were forced to cancel the event over the last 2 years, of course, because of the pandemic. The parade runs from 6th to 14th Streets. It'll include marching bands, floats, clowns. Celebration typically attracts between 80 to 100,000 people. Nice to have some of those traditions getting a turn again. A local nonprofit that helps children struggling through mental health is also going to be busy this weekend.
Our Kim DeGiulio shares a story about a Farmington Hills teen who used this program when he was struggling, and now he's paying it forward.
Merrick Michelson is a healthy 16-year-old boy, an athlete, but he wasn't always this healthy. In middle school, he developed an eating disorder.
When I looked in a mirror, I was not proud of it. I was 97 pounds my 7th grade fall. And when I came back from camp going into my 8th grade year, I was 79. I was eating that bare minimum no matter what it took.
The more weight he lost, the more he wanted to lose.
And I started to notice that progress. I liked it so much that I wanted to keep doing it and keep on losing more weight so I would get more words of encouragement. It took me about a year to know that, okay, this is not normal.
He met with a dietitian to help him gain weight, but internally he was still struggling. That's when he learned about the You Matter program through the Friendship Circle, a nonprofit that helps children struggling with mental health.
It made me realize that other people are going through the same types of things that you are, even if they don't show it on the outside. Not everyone's perfect.
The attraction to the program is that there's raw emotion. It's real. It's not something that's, so to speak, staged. It's people being honest, open, honest, sharing their stories, being genuine.
And now Merrick can be that voice to help others going through a tough time at this weekend's 4th annual You Matter, One Thing I Wish You Knew event.
What makes Merrick unique, unfortunately and fortunately, is that male teens don't talk about this enough. And male teens, I think we think are immune to this type of discussion, and we all know it's not true. So I appreciate what he's doing.
He plans to share his story and this message.
To not give up, keep going, because the pain right now, it does hurt, but it's gonna feel a lot better when you do succeed.
The event takes place this Sunday at 5 p.m. at Seaholm High School in Birmingham. It's free. You can attend in person, or there's also a virtual option. I posted all of the info on our website at clickondetroit.com. I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
Hey, Kim. Coming up on Local 4 News at 11, a firebomber caught on camera throwing several Molotov cocktails at a business. We'll show you who police are looking for.
Also tonight, a county election supervisor charged with ballot tampering, what she's accused of doing to preserve her victory in the election.
And everybody is feeling the pain at the pump, but some say